it's a beautiful day to do these reactions. Like it before you like it, hit the sub before you hit the buzz. Y'all might wonder why I'm looking like this. This is a crazy one right here, bro. She walked in her house, caught her baby daddy in her room getting siphoned, vacuum cleaned by a whole grown ass man, bro. Yeah, this is crazy.
When you catch your BD getting his dick sucked by a punk.
It's so much going on in this video, dog. Like, just like, think about it like this, right? If you was a woman or a man and you about to do something like this, first of all, your neighbors got ring cameras everywhere. That's one. So they gonna catch you if your girl or your man don't. For two, you brought the motherfuckers to your house. That's down bad. Man or woman. For three, she about to try to beat up the dude and he protecting him. He pulled her off of him. That is crazy to me, man. That's that man boy. That's his boyfriend on the side, man. Dog, I seen a story the other day, man. This dude was basically messing with a man and the man was paying him and his girl bills and stuff like that. Like, he had a side dude and he was getting money from this side dude, paying his light bill, paying his rent, giving his son money. Like, yeah, bro. Oh, man, you think you can send me $250, man? I got to pay the light bill, man. Me and my girl going to be in the dark. He's texting another grown. Hey, bro, there's a lot of dudes living like that, bro. That's crazy, man. Yep, we going to move on to something lighter. This one here was crazy.
So I remember some years ago when my daughter's mom put me out of a house that we bought together.
Oh, you making a mistake right there. You're not supposed to be in a house that don't got nothing tied to you in it. No lease, no mortgage. Something got to be in there for you, bro. Some mail, something.
My name wasn't on the deed and anything, so that's another lesson I had to learn. She put me out of the house, and she started talking to another guy. And I remember we was moving my stuff out, me and my brother, moving my stuff out. And he looked at me. He said, man, this messed up, man. This messed up. I said, don't worry about it, Chief. I said, you know, it's my fault. He said, no, it's not. No, it's not. I said, don't worry about it. So then sometime later, she ended up putting me on child support for no reason, because I gave her money out of every check. And I had my daughter every weekend. Whenever she told me she needed something, I went and bought it. If she needed me to keep her during the week or whatever, I did everything. She was really just mad because her relationship failed and I had got into a new relationship. But anyway, I sat down with my brother one day and we was talking. And he said, man, it's just so hard for me to see you going through this with her, knowing that you don't deserve it. I looked at him, I said, yes, I do. I said, I deserve all of it. I deserve the child support. I deserve being put out. I ain't had nothing, had to start all the way over. I took a heater from the house we were in just to keep myself warm because my utilities wasn't going to be cut on for another week. She told me to bring it back. That's just how it was. And he said, what you mean? I just looked at him. I said, look, dude, before me and her started talking, I knew she had a stink attitude. I knew certain things about her and the way she moved that I decided to look past because I wanted to see the good in somebody. Because me, I know my past. I haven't always been right, and I wanted somebody to see the good in me. So I gave her a chance. But even through that chance, she didn't do anything to ease my mind as far as my concerns, but it started to show more. And I kept looking past it. I said, you might feel like I didn't deserve to get put out that house. You might feel like I didn't deserve to get put on child support or any other stuff that she started dragging me through. I said, but the fact is, I am the reason that I went through that stuff, because I knew at that point, even though I couldn't know what was going to happen in the future, I knew enough at that point in time that we didn't need to have a future. If she got pregnant once, she had a miscarriage. That was my chance again. Life was trying to let me off the hook. And that's what happens in life sometimes. You get the warning signs and sometimes you catch a break. And if you be hard-headed, and you're determined to do what you want to do, you got to be ready for the consequences. So I didn't sit back feeling sorry for myself and saying, oh, I don't deserve this, I don't deserve that. I had to be a man. I had to say, you know what? That's my fault. I got to learn. I got to move better. I got to do better. That's all you can do. Feeling sorry for myself, sitting back, picking straws, trying to figure out why this happened and why that happened. I know why it happened. It happened because I was being stupid. It happened because I didn't pay attention, and it happened because nobody could tell me anything, not even myself. So yes, I deserved every last bit of it.
Hey man, you probably will never see a video like this with a woman saying this. They're going to play the victim, dog. I'm sorry I had to bring it there, but bro, this level of accountability, most of us watching this ain't never seen a woman post a video like this, ever. Like, I ignored every red sign he had. He was doing this, that, and the third, and I still chose to do it. And, you know, before I met him, I know what I did, and I was doing these shit. I was running the streets. I went through a whole phase, this, that, and the third. You ain't seen no video like that, bro. Dead ass serious, man. It take a lot of power for a man to come up here and say this, for real.
If you took any man alive, any grown-ass man in his 50s, I don't care how old he is, you put him on an island with a beautiful 14-year-old girl, and nobody's looking, he knows that nobody's looking.
Okay, so first of all, it's not all men, it's you. It's you. But let's give a better description of what you are going to do to this 14-year-old girl, because it's not all just as simple as that one little word you like to use, the F word. What you are going to do is you're going to use all of your wisdom, knowledge, and experience that you have gained over your 50 whatever years of life. You're going to use all of that, all the things you've ever learned. You're going to weaponize that, and you're going to use that as weapons of war against a 14-year-old girl who doesn't have that life experience, who doesn't have the weapons to defend herself from your attacks. And you are going to wage war against her emotionally in every possible way, shape, and form. You're going to manipulate her, and you're going to just keep lobbing the bombs at her until eventually she gives up. And that's the thing. You think her giving up is consent.
Bro, somebody in the comments said he must be Republican. And y'all know why that's funny? A lot of Republicans have been convicted or charged with these type of allegations just in the last week. I've seen 3 or 4. Real talk, man. Yeah, he need to definitely speak for himself on this one, dog. A 14-year-old daughter. I mean, girl, that's crazy. I got a 14-year-old daughter. You see what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. You sick in the head, bro.
The reason why so many of these top-tier men use prostitutes is because it becomes prohibitively expensive to date traditionally once you cross a certain point. Let's examine why this might be the case. One of my good friends is a corporate lawyer, and he bills his time at $1,300 an hour. Now, that may sound like a lot, but it's kind of the going rate for a partner at a top-tier law firm. By the same token, there are folks in my space online who charge $2,000 to $3,000 an hour for a consultation. And then you get into the rarefied realm of bank presidents, celebrities, tycoons, and professional athletes who can easily command tens of thousands of dollars or more for an hour of their time. However, to make this talk more accessible, let's just use the lawyer's rate as the standard of measurement. So let's assume a man is making $1,300 an hour, like my friend. In the traditional dating pipeline, what would be expected of him? Well, first, he'd have to spend some time making something happen. Maybe he has to go out to a bar on a Saturday night and rizz up a girl. And this is hardly a sure thing, even at the local meat market, so he'll have to have the energy and the emotional resilience to deal with the rejection that inevitably stands between him and an actual prospect.
Hey, man, if we stopped it right there, that'll be enough to convince most dudes that's making a little money to just say, he's on to something right here. And I know a lot of y'all watching this already got this mindset right here.
It ain't tricking to a nigga with a few dollars, partner. Believe that. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't tricking. And I say I got 350s and 820s. I say I got 350s and 820s.
Let's be real.
Or he'll have to spend time creating a dating profile on an app that won't land him in the invisible 90% functionally ignored by all women, and swiping on hundreds of accounts in order to get some matches. Either way, once he succeeds in getting a number, he'll need to spend more time playing the text game in order to help the woman feel sufficiently safe and sufficiently attracted, which is not an easy balance to strike, to meet up for an actual date. Of course, he'll be expected to plan the date, which will almost certainly occur at some neutral location as opposed to his house, several days or even weeks out. On the date, he'll be expected to cover all the expenses, but as we'll see, this is the most inexpensive part of dating for him. The meeting itself will probably last 2, maybe 3 hours, with potentially an hour of commuting to and from the location. So he likely has to block off an entire evening, and busy, successful men may only get 1 evening off a week, if that. And given all this time and effort and expense, there is, of course, absolutely no guarantee that the man will even be attracted to the woman in question, let alone succeed in securing a sexual encounter. And irrespective of the moral or ethics involved, this is frustrating because since men attempt to exchange resources for sexual opportunity in the sexual marketplace, this is why he's there. So even if we ignore all the monetary expenses associated with the date itself, which are potentially not insignificant, a 3-hour date bookended by an hour of travel at $1,300 an hour is $5,200.
Hell no.
This means this guy is paying $5,000 in terms of the cost to his time to go on a date with you. And this does not include any of the time and effort that went into securing the date. This may come as a shock, but most women do not just show up into a man's life with an intention to make his life easier. For most men, it's a lot of fucking work to get sex and relationships from women. You hear a lot about the emotional labor that women perform for men. But it's absolutely true that men perform a great deal of emotional labor for women. It's just that the man's labor typically has to do with getting laid and securing and maintaining the relationship. To do this, men often have to be charming or funny or cool. They have to stimulate your emotions and arouse your attraction. They have to listen to you talk about your day and care about the woman inside your body. And they have to do all this without giving the slightest impression that this is in any way work for them, or that they could possibly want to do literally anything else with their time and attention. Because if you get the impression that they're just doing this because it works and not because they authentically want to do it, you won't fuck them. This is not easy to do. Even the most successful Casanovas strike out more often than they get on base. Women are extremely complex, and most men do not even begin to approach an understanding of how you operate. In any case, dating you requires a lot of time, energy, money, and emotional resilience. And if you're working 80 hours a week, you just might not have the bandwidth for that. Dating just feels like another job, but a job that you pay to work.
Bro, this makes so much sense to me now that I'm looking back. They say that hindsight is 2020, right? When I used to work in like the French Quarter and stuff, I see these rich looking guys. I would assume they was rich because stereotypically I'm looking at these older white men with these young hot white women, and sometimes black women, sometimes Asian, whatever. And obviously they're there for the money. We know this. Now that I'm looking back, that they were escorts and shit like that, man. And these dudes was like, I'll pay for it. Straight up. It's cheaper to just pay for it straight up. But bro, look at these comments, man. They did not disappoint. Buying milk is cheaper and easier than owning a cow. Thesis on tricking is wild. The dude said, buy real estate, rent women. That's what I heard the other day. I've been with over 2,000 escorts. Let me tell you, it's easier to get up to 3 different escorts daily than going out to meet an uppery, obnoxious woman. Boy, these dudes is paying for it, man. Escorts can't divorce you and take money from you. As a Californian, I'd rather spend the gas money / train trip, night in a hotel, and a few $100s for a girl from the most famous gentleman's club in Tijuana than deal with the hoops of dating. Oh my God. At $1,300 an hour, he's saving time and cutting to the chase with zero investment, bro. That's wild. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, that was a crazy video right there.
Y'all, oh, geeking, fam. My fault, bro. Fam. My fault, bro. Niggas should do it to your ass right now, fam. My fault, bro. Carl, what the fuck, fam? My fault, bro. I didn't see you, bro. My fault, bro. cuz. And if I slap the shit out you, I'll be wrong, fam.
No. I'll get you, bro. My fault, bro.
Fam.
My fault, dog. My fault, bro. My fault, fam.
Cuz, you a freshman, cuz?
Nah. My fault.
Yeah, you could tell this a YN.
Hate you, young son, bitch. You don't do shit. You don't vote. Fucking rappers, all you do is eat shit. Fuck. That's all right. Your mama's a man. I'll push you.
Yep, this dude said my fault about 100 times, and he's still talking about, my damn dog, I should do it to you. Man, bro, the dude trying to fix it. See, these are the crash outs that you don't want to run into for the most part, bro. You step on a dude's sneaker or whatever, and you say, my bad fault, and he still want to take it to the next level, dog. You know, it's only one place them type of people gonna end up in the long run, bro.
Straight men are not socialized properly because we say a lot about the dating apps and like how we have to go out into the real world to meet men. But then when you go into the real world, it doesn't matter because they're not properly social. They are like socially inept. I was at the pool today, at a hotel pool, and I go to get a drink, and this guy is standing next to me. I literally don't think anything of him. He's just like in my periphery, and he gets his drink or whatever. He walks away, and then the bartender comes with my drink. I give him my card, whatever. He processes the card. He comes back, and then he's like, "Oh, so that guy wants to buy your next round." And I was just like, "Who? What? Who?" And then he's like, "Oh, that guy over there. He just like went and sat down." And I was like, the guy that was standing right next to me wants to buy my next round. I was just like, wait, what? He told you that, but he didn't tell me. He was like, yeah, he just told me. I don't know, go talk to him, whatever. And I'm just like, he was standing there as I was buying, like ordering my drink, buying my drink. He didn't talk to me. He could have talked to me and been like, hey, I'd like to buy your drink, the one that you're literally about to order. He just like wanted to do some like playground stuff of like, oh, my friend said that he thinks you're cute. Like, what? So as I'm walking away, I pass by the table where he's at. He's with two friends, and then I guess they must have been discussing me because his friend is like, oh, hey, come here. So I'm just like, oh God, here we go. Also important to note, we were at the pool. I was wearing my bathing suit and they were fully clothed. One of them had a laptop out. So they were like working at the pool. So it was just like weird to be like almost wearing like no clothes with people. I don't know. That was just part of the weirdness of it. And then his friend's like, oh, we want to get your next round. I was like, oh, well, I have a full drink here, so I don't know if I'm getting a next round. Yeah. So I just kind of like talked to them a little bit. They were in town visiting and we were talking about like different places to go. I was giving them recommendations, like whatever. Also, the guy who supposedly wanted to buy me this drink did not say a word. Didn't say a word. He just kind of like was kind of like sheepish, like in the back, like, oh, like he just like had nothing to say, didn't contribute to the conversation in any way. Then at some point I asked him, I was like, oh, so do you guys have Instagram? Because I was thinking in my head, I asked that because I was like, oh, let me send you some recommendations. And then the guy that I was talking to, he's like, oh, I knew you were gonna ask that. And I was just like, okay, yeah. And I told him, I was like, well, I usually ask for IG just because I don't like giving out my phone number. And he goes, well, I didn't ask for your phone number. And I was like, oh my God. And then the middle guy is like, oh, I have IG, you can follow me. And I'm like, great, I'll do that. So I follow, or he puts mine into his phone. And then one of them was like, oh, are you the type of person that follows back or you just want a follower? I was like, bro, I was like, look at how many people I have I have like 1,400 followers. That's like not influencer numbers. Like I literally follow people that I meet. Like it's not a thing. The other guy, he's like, oh, well, yeah, I work in real estate. So I don't do all the social media stuff. I work in real estate. I was like, well, people who work in real estate have social media. Like that's not even an explanation. So at this point, I'm like done with these. I'm like, oh, you guys are annoying. But like just the fact that it was one guy who didn't talk at all, apparently wanted to buy me a drink but didn't talk at all. Another guy who's getting like defensive and almost like upset that he's interested in me. It was weird. It was like he was in denial that he was hitting on me, but it's like, what else are you doing? And then the third guy was pretty normal. I don't know, but it's just like, that's kind of how it is. It's like, there's like a 1 in 3 chance you might meet a normal guy, and those are pretty generous numbers. But like, that's out in the real world. That's not even on the app. So I'm just like, I don't know, what are we supposed to be doing? Because the guys that we are actually physically talking to, they're just like, they're not real. Like they like don't have social skills. It's so strange. Also, I can't leave this part out. They kept beckoning me to come sit with them. Like, oh, come sit. Like, oh, come, what are you doing? Just come sit down. And I was like, you want me to sit with you, but you didn't buy me a drink? You want me to bring my drink that I paid for and come sit and talk to you while I'm in my bathing suit, while you're fully clothed. Also important to note, this was kind of an expensive hotel pool bar because the drink that I bought, I think it must have been $24 after tax and tip. It was $30. It was a $30 cocktail. And these guys who did not buy me a drink wanted me to sit down and drink my $30 cocktail and talk to them.
$30 American? That's crazy. But you know what I think it is? I think that the dude who initially was like, let me get her a drink or whatever, he ain't used to talking to females, man. He not used to interacting with women in no form or capacity. That's what I'm thinking, because when you talk to women, you get good at it. And he's not good at it. And like, he was being awkward and all of that kind of stuff. You know, that's y'all got to get out there in them streets and put your reps in, man. You got to talk to women, bro. Damn. Y'all out here making it look crazy, man.
Ayesha Curry is a prime example of a lady who married a man that she thought she was better than.
That's facts.
Just what that is. That's the reason why she's always talking shit about that man. She craves the attention that Steph Curry gets because she believes that she deserves it, and she believes that he doesn't. She can't fathom that he gets the attention that he gets. Because how can this motherfucker that's underneath me get all this attention? And she still believes that she's better than him to this day. Babies and marriage and all. Like the recent interview that she did, she was like, she wasn't even like, she didn't really think that he was even the best for real. Like, she was like, what's the hype about? Like, she boldly said this shit out her fucking mouth about her own husband that she has kids with. So yeah, that's just what that is. She sat there, she married the guy beneath her because she knew it would be easier to be with him because of the things he would bring her. You know, and she still can't seem to be satisfied because it has nothing to do with the physicality of how comfortable life is. Has everything to do with the attention. She craves attention. That's why she was on that interview a couple years ago talking about something. She wished men just try to just talk to her and come at her. She doesn't get that attention. She looks at her husband each and every single day, and she looks at the man he like looks like physically, and she's like, how are women throwing themselves at you and men aren't throwing themselves at me? How? She believes she's better than that man. And every single day she got to get reminded of the simple fact that she is absolutely not. Because who the fuck are you, Ayesha Curry? We only know you because of your husband.
Facts.
And you set your life up like that. And every single day you just talking shit about that man. That man ain't got nothing to do with how you set yourself up to be. Please. You can leave that man alone right now. And do this shit by yourself, bitch.
Yo, I want to go over these comments, right? Because these comments are going to illustrate the difference between the way us men think and the way women think. So look at this. The first guy with 90,000 likes on his comment says, Ayesha Curry is a 6 at best. We immediately go to something like, damn, Steph could do so much better than her. That's basically what that means. So be quiet and just be happy you with this superstar guy. This is what he's saying. The next guy says, this has 9,800 likes. First, Ayesha and now Kristen Bell. This generation is being brainwashed to believe loving one person is a prison sentence. That's important because this next comment is going to prove that. Watch this. This is from a woman. This comment has 1,400 likes. Ayesha Curry is a prime example of someone who married too young. She should have spent her 20s as her freedom years. In other words, getting ran through. What your boy be saying, monkey branching from other getting ran through, going through a whole phase, getting used up, wasting her prime years, running from this man to that man. This is what a woman's saying she should have done, right? Instead of getting with Steph Curry. Dating, partying, exploring, and just living life on her own terms. And that helps women out so much. We've seen so many success stories after a woman did that, right? Instead, she went straight from being a teenager to a wife with no real experiences outside of Steph. That's what men want. We want women with no real experience outside of us for the most part. She's never had another man in her life, as if that adds value, like that increases her stock to a man like Steph Curry. She's never had another man in her life, never had the chance to see what else was out there. I'm sorry, man. I highly doubt that she would have seen anything out there better than Steph Curry. In many ways, she skipped an important stage of growth and self-discovery by marrying him so early. So in other words, women see running through men in their 20s, partying, getting drunk, building reputations for being that type of girl in their city as discovering themselves. That's crazy. But look, that's not all we got. Check this one out. Same sentiment. Where was it? All right. Y'all see him as Steph Curry, the basketball player. She knows him as Steph Curry, the man. Y'all don't know that, man. She married super young, as if that is an issue. That only became an issue in recent human history. Back in the day when our grandmothers was young, they was getting married at 17 and shit. Just saying. She had dreams for her life separate and apart from being a wife and mom, especially that of a high-profile athlete. She is mourning the woman she thought she was to become. This is normal for someone who married and had kids young, who has a life she didn't dream of for herself. There is nothing wrong with this. She didn't say she thinks she's better than him. Now, here's the thing. If it wasn't for someone like Savannah James, they have other examples of women who did the exact same thing, because she got married super young and had kids, and she's married to a superstar, the face of the NBA for many, many years. Come on now. We ain't hear her saying this type of stuff about LeBron, bro. Maybe y'all heard something recently that I ain't heard, but as of yet, I ain't heard her say nothing crazy like this, dog. Y'all be making excuses for these women, man. Dog, a woman will get married and say, yes, I do, to a man when she's 20 and then regret that shit when she's 33, 34 years old. That's a scary thought. That's why a lot of dudes ain't trying to get married, bro.